Hello there, at last. It's Jim Dowsney, a guest presenter of the Templar Report. Really sorry about that technical things. We have always problems when we go for Skype. Don't know what's going on. Somebody must have it in for us. But we're going to get right into this today because we've got a very special guest, as you know. But again, sorry, nearly 20 minutes late. This technology is an awful cursed thing, isn't it? Work of Satan, I think. But anyway, we have with us today Ms. Jayda Fransen. Are you there, Jayda?
Jim.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Women are normally... I should have just blamed you and said it's a woman's prerogative. And
You
blamed
could have.
you.
Everyone would have believed you.
There was no technical issues. The woman was doing her hair and refused to come on the show until she'd done her hair and her makeup and her nails and her lips and her eyebrows and her eyelashes and everything. So that's the
All
truth
lies.
of the matter. How are you anyway? What have you been up to?
I'm good. I've been very busy. How are you?
Very well indeed. Aye, everything's fine here. We've been plodding on, and we always keep a good eye on you and seeing what you're doing. I've seen you doing all sorts of stuff the last few months, climbing up poles and up ladders and putting stuff out. We'll get some of those images maybe up in a wee while. But how's your new political party coming on?
It's going very well. It's been a bit relentless. I think we weren't Well, I certainly wasn't anticipating this level of response. So we launched a few months ago, 3 or 4. And since launch, it's just been crazy, but it's brilliant. It's how I like to live is just non-stop action. We've got a growing number of members. We've got loads of new activists signing up, and as you say, we've built of activities over the past few weeks.
You're like a G.I. Joe Safine. That's what you're like, one of these. Although I seen a thing a couple of years ago when they were introducing sex education at the schools here. They were using G.I. Joe to introduce LGBT stuff. It was absolutely horrendous. I must dig that out one day and show the people. You wouldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. I don't even know if you've seen it, but it's pretty grim. Well, before we get into... I'm going to talk a wee bit more because I want to let people know what you've been doing, but I just want to get into show our people a thing if you just bear with me, Jayda. I showed the people, and I know you've seen these, Jayda. You've seen these Bibles because I showed you them when I got them. That's this Bible that went out of production in 1960. Can you believe that? 1960 in Nashville, Tennessee. And for some bizarre, peculiar and ridiculous reason, they lay in a box, a crate somewhere over there for 40 years. Then they came over to Ireland and lay in a box for 20 years, and they were sold. And they're that old. Look at the sellotape on the packaging. The sellotape's totally faded and totally gone. You know, because made of cell.
Yeah, it's incredible. It is actually the whole. Like, I don't believe in coincidence, right? I only believe in God. There are no coincidences, only God. This whole story is just incredible. But if there is any sort of proof that coincidence doesn't exist and everything is meant to be, this has got to be it. And you did show me the Bibles. They are beautiful.
What about the smell?
I have not seen a Bible like it. Oh, they're just amazing. Honestly, the whole thing, the whole background and the Bible itself. You know, I've owned many Bibles over the years. As you know, I have Bibles everywhere, all over the office, all over my home. That is the most beautiful Bible, personal Bible for sitting at home and reading that I've seen. It's just stunning. And it's made by the world's best Bible producers. So how you found them,
obviously, because it's just so ridiculous that set of circumstances. But I was talking to Brother Poteet yesterday from West Virginia. And I don't believe in coincidence. I said when he was born around about. So these Bibles were made between 1956 and 1960. Then they went out of production. And he was born. He phoned up desperate to get one, and he was born in that same era, born in 1958, I think. And I said, you know something?
Wow.
I said, before you were born, this Bible was earmarked for you because it's too weird. There's too many weird coincidences. So the people who are meant to buy these are the people who were meant to buy these. And that's why they went from Cambridge, England, to Nashville, Tennessee, from Nashville, Tennessee to Ireland, and from Ireland into my hands, and going back to America mainly. So the bad news is we have only 3 of these left. There's only 3 left, folks. I don't know. Our techie guy's still struggling with the systems, but I don't know if we can get... There's a link there. There's 3 of them left. If you were meant to get one of these, you're going to be the person who gets one of these. It's out with my hands. But as Jayda said, and I would concur wholeheartedly, they're actually a mini lectern Bible, but they're just something else, and the history connected to it. Yeah. Jayda, can you imagine going back to America 1960? What a time that would be, yeah?
I know, just what history, those books, and they've just travelled so far. I mean, if they could speak, if they could show us what they've seen and where they've been, but it's just such an incredible story. So yeah, and I believe that if you were meant to own one,
well, there's only a few there. The brothers put a link up. We're posting these tomorrow, so get your order in now. They'll be out in the post to you tomorrow. You'll have them in a few days because they're going UPS or something. No, they're going Royal Mail. Well, give it a week to 10 days max. This will be in your possession. And great Brother Petit and the other brothers who got them. God bless you. And just to think that Bible was earmarked for you before you were even born, probably. And it's marvellous. Right, I want to get into a wee bit of what you've been up to here. I do beg your pardon, Jayda. Let me just say hello to some folk. Donald Pollock, how you doing? Miss Far to Go, Neville. Oh, wait a minute, I'm moving about here. I go at the top here. Just bear with me. Tara Templeton, God bless you, Tara. Howdy. Marty, the Irishman, God bless you. Lady Roth, I like to see Lady Roth in the room. Scott Rash, Neville Walker, Donald Pollock, Scorpion. James Collins in Ireland, a good name you've got there. I hope you live up to that name, Mr. Collins. And Guy RC, first time in the room, you're more than welcome. More than welcome. Les Androkovich, how you doing? Who we got there? Nick, how you doing, Nick? Who else is in here that I'm looking at? Ralph Rollo, how you doing? Neville Walker, I've seen him. William Mumford, nice to see you, William. Bartley Burker, how you doing? Nice to see you as well. And Jane, another lady in the room, you're more than welcome. And Karen and what? Karen and Sharon. Oh yes, I know who you are, the Kennel people, I know who you are. James Williams, Stuart Duncan from Aberdeenshire, some Scotsman coming now. Mary Bourne, good to see you in the UK, excellent. Ewan Egerstrom, you're more than welcome. Or I can't remember that fellow's face, is Sweden or somewhere. Seen him. Malcolm Cook, okay, excellent. Now James Collins, that's good. Said Ireland with American accent. That's not an American accent, Mr. Collins. You're probably a southerner. Say Ireland because I'm an Ulster man and that's the way we speak up here. It's Ireland. I think Karen and I've seen him. Mark Wiley, haven't seen him before, I don't think. Ballymena, brilliant stuff. A man from Ballymena, excellent. And Hallabolly, whatever that is, I can't make it. Okay, God bless you all. You're more than welcome. Remember, like the video, click subscribe, press the bell, comment below. Right, let's get into this because there's somebody on here today even more dynamic and spectacular than my good self by a mile, and it's Jayda Fransen. And obviously she's not as easy in the eyes as me, obviously, but you know, we have to live and let live. Jayda, I seen a picture in the paper the other week there with a big fat fella who's an LGBTQ plus activist who's an elected representative of the people. He's actually been voted in. Bizarre. But he was being racist towards you, and I know. I don't know how much I can say, but I know the police are involved now, and it's all over the papers. Can you fill us in a wee bit on what's been going on with this Boyle?
Yeah, well, it's at the point now where it's hit the national news, so you're pretty much free to say what you like. This guy, a couple of months ago now, just waged a hate campaign against me online. This is an elected official. He's a councillor within the SDLP. So anyone who knows that party would know that they are raging socialists, anti-British Union, and of course they hate everything that I stand for. Although ironically, they do stand and pontificate and claim that they support women's rights and equality for women and women must be treated better. Yet you've got this guy who, LGBTQP whatever supporter, has waged a hate campaign against me, which resulted in me then receiving death threats online because he blamed me for putting people's lives at risk. He told me, I won't use the language, but he told me that I should F right off, despite the fact that I live in Northern Ireland, which is part of the United Kingdom, so I'm home. I was told that I should F right off. Now, look, the crux of the matter is, and the police are involved, this is a hate crime. I don't care whether my politics and his differ. he has been made aware of the fact that he's put me in danger. I've got protective measures on my home. The police have put markers on my home because it's now high risk, because people have said they want to kill me. And this guy still refuses to do the right thing. He won't take the post down, despite being told to do so by the police. He's not even responding to my solicitor. My solicitor's contacted him and said, that you need to take this down, you need to retract this because our client has been put in danger. He doesn't care. I mean, just what kind of men are we dealing with? And now the national newspapers have run the story, so it's everywhere now. And he's not responding to them. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, like I say, are these the men of today? Is this what we're dealing with? These, far left extremists, but they claim to be all about, they claim to be like these nice sort of liberal, tree huggy, all this
Jayda,
nonsense.
he looks normal
right?
in that picture. His normal picture doesn't look like that. He's normally got green mohawk hair. He's wearing all sorts of weird stuff that looks like a dress to me. He doesn't normally look like that. That must be a stage 40. But listen, don't be thinking for a minute that men in Northern Ireland, he's a representative of men in Northern Ireland. He's a creep. But as you say, he's one of the most self-proclaimed liberal and tolerant individuals. But he told you F off back to your own country, which is deeply racist. If you'd have said that to somebody, you would have been arrested, and everybody here knows that.
Of course.
But there he's there. Did you have a picture in there? Oh, what? Good grief, man. You should have gave me a warning.
Yeah, there was a picture.
Listen, we're sorry about that. We should have given you a
you
warning before we put that boy up there. Look at that fine specimen. Does he know up there? Oh, that's live. Oh, I tell you what, you're in for a treat when there he's there. Good grief. We should have put, I've gave you a bit of a warning, because I know if you've ate your dinner, it'll be back up again. Look at the on boy there. I'm glad that he's LGBTQ, because he's saved an awful lot of women a lot of problems.
Oh, look, there's no love lost. And look, let me just make one thing very clear. I am absolutely certain, I know unequivocally, that he does not represent the men of Northern Ireland, the good men of Northern Ireland who have helped me enormously over the past 18 months since my release from jail. They are, they don't even come close. Like, he is, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe him. I wouldn't describe him as a man. I just think that kind of behaviour is below human level. Like, if you can put a woman in danger and then just not have the decency, I think we've got to the point now where the left are so used to screaming and getting their own way that even when they're in the wrong and they make a huge blunder, that's a pretty big mistake. He might not like me, but he could be responsible for my death. And see, sometimes we all have to just say, look, I got it wrong and I'm sorry, and he refuses to do that. So
he's a public representative. Well, you're right, the left are going bonkers, because I seen a story today that a teacher has been sacked and lost his case for unfair dismissal in industrial tribunal. Why was he sacked? Because he said, according to studies, and every study in the world, the Jewish people are the smartest people on the planet. I would agree with that. I'm not a big Jew fan, as you know, but I would agree with that. The Jews are smart people. He was sacked because positive praise could be classed as positive discrimination, which is wrong. And he was sacked from his job. But the BBC and CNN and everybody else has been told, you must positively discriminate to allow more ethnic minorities on the shows and in the head of CEOs of companies. But there we go. A court has said, no, discrimination is wrong, even if it's positive, and by saying that the Jews are cleverer than anybody else, you're being discriminatory, even if it's in a praiseworthy way. And the man has lost his job and lost his tribunal. The left are devouring themselves.
Well, they are. And the other thing I saw this story earlier, and the other thing this guy said was that young black men need as much assistance as they can get, right? Now, we have this, affirmative action. In America, it's rife, but it's all over the UK. Like you pointed out, the BBC quite openly discriminate against white people. And I'm sick of this. I'm not, you know me, I don't mince my words, right? I'm not treading on any eggshells. It is racist to ban my people from applying to a job in our country, right? Just because we're white. That's racist. So, but the BBC run these adverts, we're only taking black or Asian applicants. Can you imagine if the advert said, we're only taking whites? So this guy has said, we need to assist young black men as much as we can. And look, to be quite honest, I don't know. I mean, I don't know the guy. I can imagine that he probably doesn't agree with my politics, and I can imagine that he thought that this statement was again this left-wing gesture, liberal. Oh, the Jews are so smart, and the blacks should get all of the help. Yeah. And it's just come back like they're imploding the left. You can't. It's the same with the whole LGBT, the trans, the feminists. They're all just turning on each other and devouring each other. And honestly, like, I don't mind having ringside seats for this show. It's quite fun.
The brothers just put that link up there for these Bibles. Remember, there's only 3. You need to be quick, folk. How many? 3? 3. All right, so there's 3 left. There was 5 left, sorry. There's 3 left now. They're going like, so you're going to end of this show, they'll be gone. So please don't be disappointed, because I can't produce any more of these, because they stopped making them 60 years ago. Jayda, now I also seen a very interesting picture of you, and I've got to say, because I'm old school, I don't think women folk should be climbing up ladders. So let me scold you. There's men that should be doing this, but I seen a picture that's very good, and fair play to you, doing this every Home a Flag campaign. And just for our viewers who don't know what this is, this woman decided that the place, Northern Ireland, wasn't patriotic enough. Well, we have about 400,000 houses with flags hanging out of them. But there's some folk who didn't have flags, so she went round and encouraged, mainly, to be fair, for old people and firm people who couldn't do it themselves. And she launched an initiative for folk to fly their national flag, and I think it was one of the best things I've ever seen. And you know, the Templars were quite involved in helping her with that. We're very pleased to do so. But she done it all. She done it all herself, to the extent, well, there's a picture here of her actually doing the thing. I'm no good with ladders, hen. I'll be no good for that. Oh, no.
Do you know what? I'm going to be honest here, right? The first one that I did... I'm not good with ladders. There's not much that I fear. I fear the Lord. That's it, right? I'm pretty fearless. I'll run after a jihadist, and I have. You know, I've tried to get into their homes and all sorts. Doesn't faze me.
Where is the ladder pitch? I'll just go and try and get a ladder pitch so folk can see. Did they see that? You up climbing up? There you go.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's the second floor. You're up there. I don't like that.
I'm up. Yeah, I'm right up there, and it's right at the top of the ladder. And I have to say, I was a bit milky, like I was a bit bottly the first one I did, but I'll tell you who I was with. I had Jolene.
Oh, she's
Bunton,
a good woman,
Belfast
good
councillor.
woman.
She was with me. She's a good. So I said to her, Jolene, hold the ladder. I'm going up, right? And I did the first one. I was shaking like a little dog. But then the next ones, you know, you have to face your fear, and that's what I did. I went straight up, and I loved it. It was great. And let me just say, just to clarify, I was in no way implying that the good people of Northern Ireland need to fly any more flags than they normally do, because I have never seen anything like it. When I moved here, I was so surprised at the fact that they're allowed to fly flags, because we're not in England. And so, but this year, because the 12th celebrations were all sort of cancelled and scaled right back due to this scamdemic, I thought it would be a nice idea to go and help people get the flags up if they haven't already done it. And it was...
And you're going to do this in England, didn't you? You're going to start doing this in England to get the white working class. Let's say the word, because I've got a confession to make. I'm white, I'm out, and I'm proud. Hey, Dowson's come out, he's white, and he's out, and he's proud.
Jim, let me just say, it's okay to be white.
Thank you.
You know, it's okay. And we are. Look, this is it. It is okay to be white. And yeah, you're right. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to take this to England for the white indigenous people to fly the flag of their nation in their areas, in their towns, in their housing estates, outside their homes, as they should be entitled to do, because this is our territory. There's nothing wrong with showing people.
I think white English people need to start showing and expressing their pride in their culture.
Yeah.
And I think if you go to England with this, I think you're going to cause an absolute maelstrom of criticism. You might get thrown in jail again, lifted, beat up with the police, whatever. I don't know. Usual. But the fact that you're willing to do it, I think it could be a seminal moment, a watershed moment in English-British nationalism. I really do. I think it's that important. If you can pull this off, and make no mistake about it, the Templars, myself, people watching here, we'll be 100% behind you and helping you to do that, because I think it's brilliant. I can't wait to see it. You maybe need to do the same down south in the south of Ireland, because they've went bananas altogether. They've went completely mental.
Jim, I'm not sure that the people in the south of Ireland want me up a ladder.
Definitely no. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. You'll never come back.
I think I'll leave those guys to it. But certainly in the south of England, there are there are parts of England where, because I'm from London, right? London's gone. Sorry to say it. It sounds really nonchalant. I don't mean to be dismissive. I'm heartbroken inwardly, but I have dealt with the fact that London is gone. I'm not allowed in my home city anymore because I don't wear a burqa and what have you. So that's but that doesn't mean that there aren't entire towns and little villages in England that are basically, they feel like they're under siege. They're surrounded by these ghettos, and so they're the places, and even within the ghettos there are just little enclaves of white British people still in, like, East London. You'll get parts of East London, you'll go into a tiny little housing estate and it's full of white British people, and they're surrounded by Mohammedans or non-indigenous folk who get priority housing and treatment and all the rest of it. They're the people that need to dig in and say, because it's two options, right? They either get driven out, which is not on, or they dig in and say, this is our area and we're sticking here, we're protecting it. And
I see. Well, somebody's saying there, I'll just tell the techie guy, there's Ralph's there telling you something, Mr. Techie Man, I don't know what it means. Aye. Now, the other thing is, somebody's saying there, why don't you start Nuneaton? Now, we used to know a good wee fella in Nuneaton in the old days, Alwyn Deacon and whatnot in Nuneaton. Now, I spent many a day in Nuneaton, but there's a lot of good, solid people there in Nuneaton. So, listen, we know people who live in these sort of projects in England, and they'll be only too willing to help you, Jayda, so we'll put you along that way. But listen, I want to pull just quickly up here, because time's obviously against us because we're running really late. But you've launched your party, the membership's doing okay. I want to try and appeal to everybody out there, everybody who's watching this, to join your party and to take the link that the brother's going to put up and share that link. Especially, there's a lot of people in here from GB, there's a lot of people in from the mainland, as we call it. I know that's a strange term in England, but we call it the mainland, us Ulster folk, we say the mainland. And that's how we got on. But I want all the English and the Scots on there and the Welshies to take the link and share it all over your pages, all your friends, and get them to join this women's party. Because there's another woman running a thing in Britain called For Britain. I don't even like mentioning it. She's an Irish, God-hating, lesbian, pro-abortionist. Her name's Anne-Marie Waters if you want to look into it. But she's running a party called For Britain, a British nationalist party. She's Irish. She's anti-Christian. She's pro-abortion. She stood with the mad Labour people like Corbyn's real hardcore lefties in Haringey in London. She's as left-wing as you could possibly get, and she's running a right-wing British party. And idiots, morons, and people with mental deficiencies, obviously, that are untreated, are joining this women's party. Catch yourself on, gentlemen. Get into this women's party. You're dealing with a real hardcore British, solid nationalist and not afraid to stand up for what's right and call out what's wrong. So,
now, can I show you something, Jim, while we're on this subject of the membership?
Oh, please.
Because I know we were talking about this actually last time when I was on the set. I have to say, I don't think I expressed how excited I was to be on the Templar set last time we were on. It was great. Like, we do these shows, but to actually be on set was brilliant, and it was nice to see all the comments come up and engage with everyone. So anyway, but you, I remember your favourite bit of the membership pack, which is the Reconquista. So I just wanted to show you guys this. Right, this is
look
part
at
of
that.
the
Is that
Reconquista
Reconquista wrote across it?
So beautiful. This is Reconquista. I know this is your favourite. Let me.
So
just
it comes to you like this, all wrapped up. What a beautiful in a box.
It's all wrapped up. It's just tied up with a ribbon. Oh, of course, this is just a small part of the membership pack. But I wanted to show you this because I knew you'd like it because you love this Reconquista. You keep saying it on your show, so I thought I'll show you this. So. We are the British Freedom Party, and we do recognise the Magna Carta to be a supreme law. But so here, this is part of what you receive in the membership pack.
Magna Carta
is a beautiful copy of the Magna Carta. I mean, this is even for our American friends watching this. It was on the basis of these laws that we received our rights. Now we've lost them in England, like the right to bear arms. Do not allow that to happen.
Shows this side, with the Big Britannia.
Well, this is what you'd like. Oh. This is for you, look. I thought you'd like this.
That is so Victoriana, it's just brilliant. It's from a bygone age. I love that.
I do. I'm very traditional, as you know. I like the classics, and that is just, I don't know. I just think it's exquisite. It's just
and
so,
right above it, right
yeah,
above her head, Reconquista.
She Reconquista. I know I thought you'd like it, so I just thought I'd bring that on just for you. I thought you'd enjoy seeing that. But that's part
and
of the
people don't need to be
pack
British to join it. You can be American, Canadian, Australia, whatever. If you're in sympathy with this woman's cause, which is to try and restore Britain, just as we try and restore America and Canada, all these other countries. If you're in support of restoring Britain back to being British again, please join that women's party. Jayda, how much is it to join your party?
It's £36 pounds for the year. And like you say, we've actually, now I just want to say, if anybody's waiting on their pack, all of these bits that were ordered due to this COVID scam. This really annoyed me, all this COVID stuff, because not only has it actually destroyed some people's livelihoods, on this is a much minor scale, but it's caused a huge amount of delay and it's kind of. But anyway, look, everything's in now, so your packs are coming out to you. And like you said, you don't have to be from Britain. We've already had people join in from overseas, which is great, because the way I look at it is, I could not be a bigger fan of Trump, President Donald Trump. I campaigned ferociously. And in fact,
absolutely.
You guys were actually accused of, you got him elected, right? So it's just the same thing. As much as I'll walk around with a MAGA hat, I would love to see our fellow, our American, Canadian, Australian brothers and sisters wearing a British Freedom Party badge.
4 more years. 4 more years.
Absolutely. And many more. I wish he would just keep going, but I know he's probably. I mean, God
I'm
bless
amazed
him.
he ain't shot him by now.
Honestly,
I'm amazed he ain't shot him by now, because they hate that man.
I know.
I mean, I know you're pretty much hated. I'm hated slightly less, but the level of hatred that's aimed at that man I think it's demonic. I honestly think it's demonic.
It is demonic. Yeah, it's demonic. It is demonic. Absolutely. He's a Christian, and he talks about God, and he speaks out against murdering babies. He's all the things that the devil doesn't want us to say, and he says it. So, but long may he reign.
I'm just looking there.
I'm a big fan.
There's a fellow there from Ireland, James Collins. He's quite right. The American accent's got a lot of Northern Ireland in it, and same as Australians got a lot of Essex. You're absolutely 100% right, James. But that wonderful name you've got, Collins. I'm an Ulster Protestant, loyal man, all that stuff. But I'm a great admirer of Michael Collins. And up north, a lot of the nationalists don't like Michael Collins. I would say they have no idea what they're talking about. That man was a genius in every sense of the way. And my family come from a village 4 mile away from where him and Kitty had a wee love nest in Granada, in County Longford. And my family lived 4 miles away. No much luck during the Civil War, living 4 miles from Collins and you're a prod. Not so good. Yeah, but anyway, we don't live there anymore. There's a surprise. But I've been in that place, and her family, Kitty's family, still own it. It's up for sale at the moment, 250,000. I wish I had the money, I'd buy it. But I've been in the actual room where him and Kitty used to hang out, and I've stood at the fireplace and thought, imagine that. Michael Collins might have stood at this fireplace plotting to blow my grandfather up, because he ran the police station in the next village. I'm sure he did. But it doesn't matter anymore. You've got to recognise people for what they are. So you've got a wonderful name there, James Collins. You make sure you live up to it, because Ireland needs men like Michael Collins that it's never needed before. And I don't just mean the Republic, I mean the Holy Island, because the old Brothers War's over, my friend. What we're up against now is something so deadly that if we don't triumph over it, there will be no Billies and Dans, there will be no orange and green. There'll be black and there'll be pink. So come on, do you think of that?
Absolutely. I mean, look, it's socialism, multiculturalism. That's the killer, and the fact that Ireland have welcomed it in on such a rapid scale. Like England is in a terrible state. And I saw something that you said the other day, Jim, about America. We all assumed that Europe would fall first, but look at what's happening in America. But look, whatever happens, we have to be allied. And again, yeah, absolutely. We have to be prepared. And, like Northern Ireland is far more prepared than, as you say, you call it the mainland, England, specifically Scotland. And I think Wales and England would be further behind than Scotland and Northern Ireland, certainly. But we just need to get around our country, our people. Don't be afraid to call these people our people. Don't be afraid to say that you're white and you're proud and that you love your people.
Exactly.
That is fine. We just need to dig in and look
absolutely
after
100%. I had this up my head. I was going to say, don't move, or the Scotsman gets it. But these There was a couple of fellas. Who was that? There was a fella today. I think there's a load of stuff now, Brother Kreitz. But we've got a few of these kicking about. The stuff is coming in because you're talking about the COVID delays. Nightmare. They've caused chaos with us. But we are putting lots of stuff out. There's been lots of stuff out today. There's lots of stuff going out tomorrow. So be patient, folk. But we've still got some of these axes. Now, what else have we got here? Yep, there's Big McConnell in as well. There's a man there that I would say if there was anybody I've seen, and I've been about a while and I've seen it all coming and going in Ireland for years, but if there was ever a man I would say that I would put in the same, now obviously not because there was a war on at the time, but a man that I would look towards growing into somebody like Michael Collins would be the boy who runs the Shaw and the Hern. And his name is Niall McConnell, and he's a big mad Fenian to his bootstraps, I can tell you that. If you cut him open, he'd be green, white and gold to the core, but he's a good fella. And I'll tell you something, if there was a dozen men like that man in Ireland wouldn't be in the state it's in. So get round that Shaw and the Hern outfit and get round Big McConnell. He needs your help, same as Jayda needs your help in Britain. He needs your help in Ireland. And obviously the Templars, we're glad to help anybody who's genuine, anybody who's patriotic, and more importantly, anybody whose manifesto is contained in this book. We're not interested in man-made manifestos. This is the manifesto that the Templars back. So anybody who stands by this, we back you. End of story. No discussion. No need for an argument. We'll back you. Don't care if you're Catholic, Protestant, Orthodox, pink, blue or greenway, yellow spots. It doesn't matter to us. If you're doing God's work, we'll back you and that's it. Well, Jayda, listen, I hope some of your people watching this, and remember folks, if you don't feel you can join Jayda's party because you're maybe abroad or you're part of some other organisation, you can certainly donate to the woman. So we'll make sure we get your donation link up. There's only a few folk in this room and our people have been pressed very hard, Jayda, but I'm sure some folk will want to help you. So we'll put that up and hopefully our people will get behind you again. And we'll always get behind you. You know, these things don't stop. These things are continuous. And I'm sure you'll be in jail soon. I think this is the longest you've not been in jail since I've known you. It's incredible.
I know. I don't know. I've never known so much
slacking, girl. You're slacking. But no, we don't
know.
like to see you in jail. Nobody likes to see you in jail. But at least you've got the cojones to go to jail and do what you're doing and end up in jail and know you're going to jail. Most men I know are so... Well, I'll tell you a wee story. We'd have to go in a minute. But I want to just tell you quickly. There was a guy, Connors. Was it Connors? Some kind of travelling guy. He was speaking at the big anti-sex education rally in Dublin on Saturday. And I thought, that's odd, because he's an actor. He's a professional actor. I thought, how can that be? But Ireland's a wee bit behind the rest of us in these matters. And I thought, how is he getting away with this? Well, less than a week later, he's come out grovelling. I am so... Father Jack says, I'm so sorry. That was part of this homophobic attack and I'll never do it again. And please forgive me. I didn't know what I was doing. Because obviously they've threatened his career. Now, people say, well, Jim, what would you do if they threatened my career? I've done it. I've walked out of jobs. I've threw car keys at folk. I don't give a rat's backside. I serve the risen Lord, and there's no career that I'll ever compare with that. And you're the same. So, to this traveller guy who was a big hero, everybody, you're trash, sir. You have let the side down. You've let the side down. You've buckled under pressure. The first sound of battle, you've ran away. So, you're no man, in my opinion. So that's what I think of that. And a lot of folk in Ireland are going to be very disappointed, Jayda, because he was held up as some kind of big hero figure. And I said...
Well, see, you said earlier that the big Niall McConnell's in the room. If you are, Niall, good to see you. I went on Niall's show. This was probably a couple of months ago now. And, we talk about people that have got a bit of something about them and that are willing to sacrifice stuff and are willing to take heat. This guy was getting attacked from every direction, and I went on his show and I said to him, listen, I can sympathise. He's from Ireland, I'm from the UK. We're looking after our own people respectively, but I can sympathise with him in that he's getting attacked by people because he's doing the right thing. And I was talking to him on the show about, the fact is my heritage is a mixture of English, Irish, Dutch. And I was explaining to him about the fact that when I got out of jail, I came to Northern Ireland, and it was actually I'm Catholic, as everyone knows. It was the Protestant unionist community, a loyalist community in Northern Ireland that took me under their wing, looked after me, and have done for 18 months. Quite incredible. Real men, real manly men stepped up and said, what do you need? We will look after you. And that's what all of Europe needs, not just Ireland, not just Northern Ireland, not just the UK, but that kind of manliness, that kind of strength that I've just been overwhelmed by the last 18 months. I've been so looked after by the Protestant, the loyalist community of Northern Ireland. I couldn't have asked for more. So yeah, let's see some real men, not men that are going to skulk off and start crying and retracting from what they've said.
Remember about Big McConnell, similar to me. He's an Ulster man. He's not just an Irish man. He's an Ulster man. And in Ulster, they grow them tough. I can tell you that. So he's a fellow Ulster man. He's from Donegal. My family's originally from Cavan. I live in County Down when I'm not living in Serbia or a Hungarian police cell. Great people, and we have no problem with anybody as long as they're doing the right thing and as long as they're showing courage. But you know, courage inspires courage. And if anybody wants to know what courage is all about, and I'm not talking about violence or anything like that, go and watch the Gandhi film. Yeah, we know it's a lot of rubbish. They hid Gandhi's racism. He was totally racist, Gandhi. He could not stand black people. But anyway, if you watch Gandhi and how he took on... The Irish think they're smart because they took on and beat the British Empire. The Indians took on and smashed the British Empire completely. And Gandhi done it non-violently, without guns. So if you want to know about courage, courage comes in many formats. Collins of old was a brave man. So was, Padraig Pearse. But you look at Gandhi. Gandhi had so much courage, it's quite incredible. So if young patriots are watching this, I'd advise you to go and get the film Gandhi off Netflix, wherever you get it, and watch it. It's incredible. Courage is what we need. And I remember an old man, Jayda, saying to me, it's maybe inappropriate to say to a woman, he says, all you've got in this life, well, I can't say it, but you know where I'm going with this, it's male appendages. He says, that's all you've got in this life. You don't have them. But you know, he was meaning, it's an allegorical thing. It's a big heart. That's all you've got in this life is your personal courage, because at the end of the day, doesn't matter how famous you are, one day you'll be standing on a pavement and your enemy will be standing there. With them Muslims, you'll probably stand up there. That's what happens to all of us. So if you can't have personal courage, you're finished. And I think that's what, I don't know if you agree. Would you agree that's what's lacking today?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's just there's so much to it. People need to just be brought back. They need education, and that's what the British Freedom Party is all about. I launched the British Freedom Party because of that void in our people. Our people are lacking that because it's been stripped out of us. And I think, you know, I don't know why I'm in the circumstances I'm in. I should be married with a huge amount of children running around me and just not climbing ladders and you know, doing all the things that you don't think I should be doing, running political parties. But this is what I'm doing. I'm doing it for a reason. God's put me in this position, and it's basically
you are the
people.
new Boudica. If we were Hindus, we'd maybe believe that Boudica had been reincarnated into Jayda Fransen. I don't know, but God bless you, Jayda. Remember, there's a link up there. Anybody wants to join Jayda's party or donate, I don't know if there's a donate link there. I think there is. Do what you can to help this woman. And remember, I don't know how many of these are left, maybe only 2 now, but get these are going out tomorrow. And as I say, they're time capsules. Even the fact of opening something that's been lying in a box for 60 years would excite me, but this, different class. So God bless each and every one of you. Jayda, God bless you. There's been a lot of good comments pouring in from all over the place, from everywhere, and they all think you're wonderful, and I'm sure everybody prays, and that's an important thing, folk. Pray for Jayda, pray for her work, pray for the party, and pray for Britain, because I tell you, Britain needs it. And the Templar Priory, we do pray for all the countries, and we pray that God would keep his hand upon us all, keep us safe, and may God keep his hand upon Jayda and all her people, because she's going to need God's help, because in human strength we can't do it. Jayda, God bless you. We'll get you on this show again, and thanks very much for coming on, and sorry for the delay at the beginning. Okay, God bless you.
Don't worry. God bless.
Okay, so where are we now? So, folks, that's all we've got time for. Sorry we've ran over because we had a wee bit of technical difficulties, but these snares of the devil won't put us off. Our techie guy's well on top of it. He's like the exorcist of glitches. He's driving a stake through the heart of the gremlins. So, oh yeah, that thing, I forgot about that. Aye. Well, listen, that's all from me. If the good Lord preserves me, I'm going to even, I'll be here tomorrow myself. The next day I'm going to try and bring a guest on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being so patient with us. God bless each and every one of you. I really mean that. And if you can, please try and help this young woman and her party. Always reward people who show courage. And that's how other people then are inspired to show courage also. We've all got a role to play in this. So if the good Lord spares me, I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, until then, stick close to God. You won't go far wrong. Do us vault.